Alright, good morning guys. Nick with NK Landscaping again as usual. We got a full crew here today. We got Fitz and Danny. Kurt's here. Closed trailer with the BX inside. Pallet of Fieldstone. Today's a little bit more of like a landscape style job. Gonna be doing some garden work, putting those Fieldstones around some garden edging. Pulling out some plants, river rock, all sorts of stuff. You'll just have to see when we get on the job. So heading over there now. Okay, we just pulled up on site here, and I'm a Subaru guy. So we've worked here before. You may remember this. I think I posted the video where I cleaned through this. That was just the uninterrupted excavator montage. So we're back. We're going to be doing all around the house. A little bit of mulch, a little bit of planting, a little bit of river rock. I'll walk you through that when we get there. Otherwise, we got to get unloaded here and start getting to work. So give me a second and bring it back in. Always got to start out. Grease the machine. I'm real big guy on greasing. Takes a few minutes and it saves your equipment, so grease them up. A little bit of fresh grease on everything goes a long way. So this doesn't get used as much as it used to, but this machine built our business. This is a 2006 Kubota BX24. It's never had any real major issues. It is a little power horse. When we bought this, we bought it used in 2008. We had the dealer turn it up a little bit, hydraulic wise, so this machine is a monster for its size. I've added things like the thumb, skid plate, and a few different things over the years, lights on the ROPS and all that, but she is a fantastic machine. And aside, this is probably its like third set of tires, and I think this machine has over 3,000 hours. The hour meter, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the LCD screen doesn't work until it gets warm. Like the machine needs to be sitting in the sun for a while. But we're on like our third LCD screen. They kind of go bad over the years from sitting outside. That was one of like the design flaws on this machine. But other than that, like I said, it's got like 3,000 hours and it runs great. So if this is something like if you're a homeowner or starting out with a business and want a small piece of equipment that kind of does everything, this is definitely it. We have a mower for it, 3-point hitch, it works great. So I'm gonna take a ride around, see exactly what we need to do to get started, and then we'll get to work here. So the guys are all working on their own little projects to get everything done here. But what I'm starting with is all the plants along the back side of this pool house. They're coming out. The goal here, we're gonna do a small river rock bed off of the pool house, just so this area is 0 to very low maintenance. This stuff all gets a little crazy during the year and it just makes it look a little ugly back here. So I'm gonna hop on the machine here and pull all this out, and then we'll dump it all in the back. You're gonna notice here in a minute, I run this a little weird. Unless I'm doing really heavy digging with this machine, I do not spin the seat around. So the seat pops up, spins around, and then you sit facing the backhoe. Since this thing doesn't have a huge amount of reach, you have to move the machine a lot. It's not like an excavator where you can spin, 360 degrees. You get a little bit less than 180 degrees of left to right rotation out of the backhoe. So what I do a lot is I just sit in the seat as it is, spin around my body, and just run the machine like that. So you'll notice me doing that. Just saves me some time so I can move the machine quickly. So I'll set you up, you go watch me pull this out. These machines, you gotta run them wide open. That was an issue with the BX24 and below. The BX25 and the new BX23S. They have since fixed a lot of that hydraulic flow issue, I believe. This will not power the hydraulics at idle. The new ones will. So you just run it wide open and that's what you get. So let me set you up and you can watch this stuff get torn out. right, so I want to put the thumb on now. No fancy hydraulic thumb here. Just like that, we have a thumb. So it's a fixed thumb. It is adjustable. I never adjust it. I leave it in this position. So like I said, this is how I learned how to run a piece of equipment for the most part. Backhoe controls, fixed thumb, and then we graduated to our L35, which was also fixed thumb. They're not the worst thing. It's better than having nothing. You just don't get that control, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna pick up these piles. We'll get them dragged into the woods. Easy schmeezy. So by no means is this thing an excavator. These things are more of crude, digging machines is the best way to put it, I guess. You may have noticed how much more jerky this machine is. Like I said, you have to run it at full throttle. These are straight, you're controlling the hydraulic valve bodies. It's not pilot controls, it is direct. So especially as the hydraulic fluid begins to heat up, it gets jerky. And you're not doing fine grading moves. Maybe if you're sitting on the seat, you have a little bit more control, you take your time. But if you're trying to get things done in a quick timeline, it's not smooth, but it gets the job done. You're not pulling those bushes out by hand that quickly. And you may ask why we brought the BX instead of the excavator. That's the only lawn damage. A couple little spots from the wheels. Other than that, I can drive this thing around all day and have virtually no lawn damage. So I got the junk picked up in the thumb there, got a bucket load of the other scraps. This area is basically done. We'll rake through this. I'll probably drive over it a couple times just to pack it in, track it in. I'm gonna start going around picking up everybody else's piles here now. I'm gonna go dump this one in the back. It's coming along. This machine also tracks, drives much faster than the excavator. Like I said, with virtually no lawn damage. So they're very versatile machines, and I would not be without this machine. If I had to do this all over, this still would be my first machine. And for those of you that don't know, I'm pretty sure Home Depot rents these, especially the new ones, the BX23, or it may still be on the 25s. But if you have an outdoor project and you're kind of on the fence of whether or not you should hire someone, something small, try one of these out. They're not very expensive, and you can get a lot done with them in a day. And they're fun to operate. So let's get this dropped off in the back. Here we are. So it's kind of windy. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the mic too much. They went around, they pulled all these Fieldstone out from around these garden beds here. The goal here is to re-edge this with the Fieldstone. So we have what is existing here plus what we brought. We're gonna do a nice straight line, and nice straight line. So me and Kurt are gonna start unloading the Fieldstone out of the truck now. Once we get that unloaded, Fitz and Danny will start working together to get that edged in. Then me and Kurt are gonna run out. We gotta get river rock and a little bit of mulch for these beds over here. I think there's like 2 beds that are getting mulched. This guy, and like I think a little more of this and possibly this. I'm not really 100% on that one. So we're gonna get this rock unloaded so we can get out to Kent. They're getting the distance marked out for the stone here so they can start stacking that. It's starting to rain, which I don't think was in the forecast, but it is what it is. Let's get it done. The BX is an amazing tool. This is nothing. It holds a lot of weight, but can't lift a pallet though. So I'm gonna get this ferried over to where it needs to go. I'll dump it in a pile, and then you know, the goal is to get this unloaded right now. So we're basically just gonna rinse and repeat that, spreading the stone around for them to pick from. We'll get that unloaded and get moving. Love our little machine. So we've now distributed all of the fieldstone to all the different areas that are going to require it. Guys are diligently working away, getting the edge dug and getting prepped for that stone work. So I just kind of spread them evenly around the building, and that'll just be in addition to the stone that was there. So pretty good match on the fieldstone. There's a little more weathered, of course, a little bit smaller in some cases too, but that's fine. We'll mix and match. It's fieldstone. They're random. You get what you get. So we're gonna drop this trailer here. We'll get some mulch. Kurt's gonna get the dump truck. We'll get the river rock. And we'll be back to install everything.
Oh, yeah.
Trailer's disconnected, stones are unloaded. We gotta stop at the yard to get the dump truck, drop this pallet. Oh, we're back. Kurt's got 2 yards of river rock. I got 1 little measly yard of black mulch and a lilac. Can you believe that this is the first time since we've owned this truck that it's actually hauled materials that aren't like palletized in the bed? So the guys are moving the piles of debris that they pulled out of here. Fitz just called me a few minutes ago and need a little assistance starting the machine. But let's see. Oh, look at this. All right. So before it was just the pieces of rock were just on the ground, like laid down flat. So this gives it a bit more of a border. Looking good. Have to put some filler pieces in here and there. But otherwise it's looking good. So we're liking this section right here from this corner over, but as we get over here, they're set a little too high. It looks a little shark toothy, I guess you could put it. So Kurt's gonna set those in a little more. I've got to go over here. There's some piles of grasses that need to be hauled out, and then there's some grass plants that we're gonna be popping out on the right side of that fence. Splitting those into much smaller plants that will go in here, sprinkled in. So I'll hop on the machine, do a few tear outs here and there, and then keep on working. Next order of business, this little circle. We're gonna give it the little lilac treatment. Fitz is bringing over his little trophy. So that's gonna go right in here, and then we're gonna do the same thing with the rocks, make a nice border around there. And they just wanted something to clean this up, because this is an area that kind of gets a little bit of plow damage. So something to clean it up and make it look a little better. Nice little bush with Kurt, what colors do we get out of this guy?
It's like purple.
Like a purple. So yeah, they wanted some color throughout the summer, and something that just looks good. So we'll get this dug, get it edged, and get it mulched and put the stone around it. It'll look really nice when it's done.
See, this is
Alright.
you gotta film.
we got our hole dug,
Right,
twice as wide, twice as deep. We're putting in some biotone. It's got the microcore hold on. I need to read it before I can pronounce it. It's got, where is it? The microcorzae or something like that. But those are good bacteria, I believe. So Fitz is stabbing the bottom of the plant to break up those roots a little bit.
This guy no good.
Get that guy planted in here, backfilled. Not too shabby. Looks good. A lot better than the kind of mess that it was before. So now we're off to the back. We're kind of gonna go all hands on deck on this rock wall and see how that goes. It's really just the one side is left now. So just one or two pieces right there to finish off the corner. They were toying with the idea of stacking a couple across that like fiberglass piece of roof, just to make that look a little more even. But otherwise, this side is coming along really nicely. And basically, so this is all the extra rock that came from over there. But everything from the rock face to the building, we'll get that river rock, plus a little bit of those grass plants once we split them up. This here came out nice. Just very simple, but it was all grass before, and it makes it hard to keep this area clean. You know, you can't mow right up against the building or the pipes or anything. So having this mulch bed, easy to come around with the mower and a weed whacker, it just looks a whole lot better, especially when you walk out of the pool house and then see a nice mulch bed instead of kind of crummy grass. So Fitz is just cleaning up all the trimmings, the leftover little stuff from the trimmings. Tomorrow we're gonna bring in a little bit of soil for over there where I dug the grass plants out of. So it's coming along. All right, so let's talk about what's going on. This rock wall we just rebuilt. We set up a string line because we weren't happy with the way it looked. Got it looking much better. This got replaced as well, looking much better. This side, modified it a little bit, planted those grass plants in there. And then this side, you can just see it with the string line. I don't know if you can see it, I can't tell on the screen. It's pretty close. This, looking at the estimate, this, we didn't quote to do the rock here. We were just gonna do a river rock banding, but Kurt said, you know what? Let's put the fieldstone in. We had some extra fieldstone. Might as well make it all look uniform. So we will complete that tomorrow. All right, good morning guys. Day 2. It went from being almost 90 degrees last week to it's like 40. It's cold. I hate the cold. But we had Dylan with us today. I think you've seen him in videos. And Fitz. They're all going to be working on their own projects around here, cleaning up. I brought in a load of topsoil. So I'm going to unload that, put it over there in the corner where it needs to go. We'll get that seed and strawed, and just start wrapping everything up here. So Dylan's gonna move the truck back here and start moving river rock, and then once I do the topsoil, I will assist with that, and like I said, just get it done. Here we go. it's really hard to convey grade on camera, I've found. But this was like a really big bowl. I mean, of course, we took out a big massive grass plant and a bunch of pachysandra. So this fieldstone wall that supports the pool coping and patio was not really built super correctly. It's on top of gravel, but this is all dry laid fieldstone. So when we pulled that pachysandra out, some of the fieldstone actually started coming out with it. I pushed all that back in, and now we built the soil back up against it. That's the last thing we want, is for this to start settling over time. So I got 4 bucket loads of the BX in here, packed it all in. So in some spots it's almost 6 inches thick. I'd say that's probably about 2/3 of a yard. I ended up putting 1 Bobcat bucket in the truck, just a leveled off bucket, which is 3/4 of a yard. If you heap the Bobcat, it's about a yard. So 4 scoops on this is 2/3 of that Bobcat bucket, or maybe a little less, or a little more actually. I probably have 1 more scoop left, so there's probably 5 total scoops in that 3/4 yard bucket. But I'm not going to do anything. This is like a huge hole, but that was never quoted. We don't have the soil for it. That last bucket is going to get used to backfill the grass side of all the rocks around the pool house that we installed. So don't need a whole lot for that, but it's not enough to do that, and it was enough to do this and what else we need to do with it. So Dylan's working on doing river rock around the pool house. Kurt just tidied up that far side wall on the pool house, got it straight with the string line. So all that is good to backfill, and I think he's still working on the rocks over here. So let me check in with all of them, and we'll see where we're at. So everybody's over here raking out the river rock. That looks really good. Kurt finished up this wall, so I'm going to take this pile of rocks that's left over. It's going to go over there to make that semicircle right by the pool gate there. And then the rest of our extra rocks we're just going to pile in the back of the property for use at another time, just so they're here. So this is the pile of remaining rocks. Pretty good size, just in case anything ever needs to be repaired. These were either all the rejects, or you know, they're too small or too thin. So they'll still work, they're less desirable. So you can see our dump pile here is really filling up. I gotta go start picking up all the leftover scrap. So that'd be the leftover grass plants, any grass and dirt that got pulled out, and then everybody else is just working on river rock and a few other things. So making good progress, coming down to the last few things here. So throw you back up on time lapse.
Hey guys, it's Kurt here from NK Landscaping. We're wrapping up the job. Our buddy Jeff.
All right, we are done. BX loaded up, dump truck, well, behind the Ford. But we got the lilac installed. Not on film, but way down at the bottom of the driveway there. Their driveway loops around. Kurt trimmed some stuff that was just, threw it in. We had talked about it at the meeting. They weren't really sure what they wanted to do, so Kurt just cleaned it up. In here, we trimmed these 5 grass plants. Of course, all along the pool house here. New border stone, new river rock. Then we topsoiled the front. Same in this corner. Over here, we added fieldstone right here. Bumped the river rock out another foot to 18 inches. Added that river rock and border. Ripped out all this and graded that, grass seeded that. Same thing wrapped around here. That looks nice. Added this bed that was not there. We ripped out everything over here. Just went with the simple river rock border like the rest of it. And then last but not least, put in 6 grasses. And all of these came from that big mass that we pulled out. So that's it. Nice easy day. Headed home. I'm gonna get prepped for my driveway. Get some stone tomorrow. So finally. So I gotta strip the topsoil and I think I gotta take down a tree or two. But as usual, guys, I want to thank you for watching. You're welcome to like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't want to, you don't have to either. But I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.